know what your situation is this morning. I don't know how long you've waited for the Lord, but this song gives me courage that the Lord is still on time. It's going to come no matter how many years it's going to take, but Jesus is going to come and he's going to find me right here waiting for him. And when he comes, I'll ask him, what took you so long? I was waiting for you. May God bless you, my sister. May God bless you. We are living in the world of almost universal apostasy, that even those that are called by his name are partaking to the sins of the world. Right now, the world is unable to distinguish between who and who belongs to the Most High. When I see all these things, I ask my God, how long, O Lord, shall your revival be? Indeed, putting Jesus the center of everything is the greatest privilege of the church. I welcome you once again to this worship. What do you say? Amen. Our memory text for today comes from the book of 2 Kings. 2 Kings is a book in the Old Testament. Chapter 5, we're going to read verse 1. We want to look at a scenario of a certain servant of the Lord. His name was Naaman. He was coming from a pagan nation, the nation of Syria. There he was a great man. He had gone to the University of Damascus, and there he studied as a frontline soldier, that if Naaman was there among the soldiers when they had gone for war, things were going to happen, because Naaman was a skilled soldier. He was not only a soldier, he was a general, he was a captain, and somebody that young soldiers will meet him in the road and salute to him and say, "Yes, boss." That was a man. The Bible records that he was also honorable. I loved the way my brother read it in his version. It was saying he was highly favored. If someone is highly favored, they are given things that others are not given. He was a man in Syria, but he was an exceptional man. A man that could not, a common man could not reach the stature of Naaman. He was a man with a dignified character. He was a man that if you look at him and you see all those stars on his uniform and you say, this is a general of Syria. That was Naaman. The Bible says, now Naaman, the captain of the host of the king of Syria, he was a great man with his master and honorable, because through him the God gave deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man in Vera, but he was a leper. I don't know what this verse means. It means nothing. In fact, they were supposed to remove it from the Bible because it is not making sense. They talk about all the good things about Naaman, then they disclose the bad. He was a leper. According to people that understand English, I don't understand it. I used to get absent when it came to English, and I hated my English teacher. But I understand this one. This one I understand. When a sentence is given, and there is a phrase, a syntax, but on the middle of the sentence, the first part of the sentence becomes what? Useless. Irrelevant. Thank you, my brother. Useless. Useless means something was useful at some point, but because of second circumstances, it becomes useless. When somebody walks to you and say, "My sister, you are useless," tell them, "Thank you very much, because I was useful at some point." Are you getting the humor in the verse today? Now Naaman was a captain of the host of the king of Syria. He was a great man. Mark that one. He was a captain. That is the first thing, good thing talked about Naaman. He was a great man. The second thing, with his master. He was honorable. Let me spend time here. Honorable. Have you seen honorable people? Members of parliament, ministers. When they come to church, they will want you to give them a seat in front, that everyone should see that honorable Jeremiah is seated in front. Oh, that is a blessing I'm pronouncing upon my life. Honorable Jeremiah. He's seated in front on a very beautiful seat that everyone can recognize him. Those are honorable people. If you have a member of parliament in your community, just call them as they are passing in their vehicle. Honorable. They may even stop and give you a 50. You will enjoy that one. They love to be called honorable. So the Bible also records and says, Naaman was a honorable man in Syria. He was not a simple man. He was a man that, if those days there were vehicles, he was driving a big Range Rover, black with tint glasses that you cannot see where Naaman is coming from. But you will see when he comes and he rolls the window down and he greets you, "Good morning, brother." Then you say, "Oh, thank you, honorable." This was Naaman. Because by him, the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was not a simple man. Inasmuch as he was living in a pagan nation, the Lord looked down in the windows of heaven and saw a faithful man, Naaman in Syria. I want to tell you that don't boast because you are an Adventist. There are people outside there that are more faithful than you. And the Lord sees them. And the Lord is going to bring deliverance upon that born-again church through that man, and you shall wonder and marvel. And they shall tell you there is no God that is greater than the God that we have in this church. What do you say, brothers and sisters? It was through him that deliverance was brought unto Syria. He was a mighty man in Ver. He was a mighty man when they go for war. He was not an exceptional man. He was an exceptional man. A man that you could look at, and even when he's coming ahead of you, wanting to fight with you, you will give way, because he was not a common man. He was a man that was built in mind and in stature. His appearance was amazing. But the Bible has something to say about this Naaman. It says, but he was a rapper. The title of our message this morning says, Rotten Christians. Yes, you heard me right. Rotten Christians. It was on a Sunday morning when I woke up early in the morning and I said, today, I want to have my breakfast with my open mind. So I got 4 eggs and I wanted to make them and eat. Without removing my plates and my cup, I'll sleep there when I'll be full. That was my plan. So I started cooking. I first boiled water for my tea and I started breaking those eggs. There were 4. When I broke the 3 in the plate, 1 was remaining, but I broke the other one. I didn't know the egg was not okay. And when I pressed it where the 3 were, it destroyed everything. I said, these were the last eggs that I had, and this egg has just come and spoiled my breakfast this morning. I said, I will not eat. The eggs were smelling, brothers and sisters. Something that is rotten is something that you will not wish to bring close to your nose. It is not something that you wish, especially an egg. I don't know if you've ever smelled it. I don't know if we can call it a rotten egg or a bad. I don't know. But if you've never smelled it, please pray you don't. Pray you don't. It's not a good smell. Pray you don't. That morning I felt so bad. I said, this was my breakfast. But look at this egg. It was a rotten egg that had spoiled everything. Rotten Christians that are spoiling everything. We are living in the world and people are looking at us as Christians because of how we dress. And when we are moving, there's a special way Adventists carry their Bibles. Let me demonstrate that one. They carry it close to their heart. Close to their heart. Because that is where the Spirit comes from. And when they are going to church, they will walk like there's something. They walk like they are apologizing to the world. They walk like they are apologizing to the world. When you greet them, they will answer you with the most softest voice in the world. And they, good morning, elder. And they'll say, oh, good morning, my sister. With a smile on their face. Rotten Christians. Because of a wonderful coat, black in color, they are walking with a big Bible close to their heart. They feel they are close to God and they are singing a song, oh, sweetheart of prayer. They are giving a prayer as they are walking to church. Rotten Christians. I will preach, my brother. Don't worry, I will preach today. If you thought you are going to miss the week of prayer and you won't catch up with us, today you are going to catch up. I'll preach today. Christians that do not give the reflection of Jesus Christ in the society. There is no difference between we as Christians and people of the world. When people of the world can get their bodies and subject them to tattoos, and we as Christians can still do that and can still put on like we are going to a disco party when we are coming to worship the Lord. What is the difference between you and the world? What is the difference between me and the world? Is it the difference because I put on a suit? Does my heart put on a suit like this? I don't know. I don't know. Rotten Christians. Life has got its own challenges that it brings upon our Christian lives, but that is not enough reason that we should live a careless life as Christians. That is not enough reason. Check yourself and check your heart. Check your appearance. When we met during the week, we talked about a vehicle. Let me talk about that one again. Is there anyone driving a Mercedes-Benz outside? Is there someone? Please put up your hand. God bless you with that one. Is there someone driving a Mercedes? Is there a hand? You mean I'm the only one driving a Mercedes-Benz today? Okay, let me talk about the Mercedes-Benz. I've moved, even here in Kampala or in Lusaka, and everywhere where I've moved, I've never seen a Mercedes-Benz that is pimped. You know, pimping a car. Like they put those music. You've seen a Subaru before. Subarus make noise in the society. When it comes from far, you can hear, it comes, and the sound there is too much. The rims, the way they are looking, everything is pimped. It is colored and they write different things, the speed, what. But I've never seen a Mercedes-Benz with all those qualities. A Mercedes-Benz is quiet, smart, and presentable. I tell you, when God blesses you and you start driving a Mercedes-Benz, here in church, people will not respect you by your name. They will say, Elder so-so who drives a Mercedes-Benz. It is not a simple car. It was a car that was made to be an exceptional car. A car that even if other cars will be cruising, it will cruise but not like other cars. You will be comfortable and you feel heaven on earth. Get a Subaru today and bring it here. We will hear that Deacon so-so has come with a Subaru. It will make noise. But when Pastor Jeremiah is coming with his Mercedes-Benz, I'll even park without you realizing that I'm here. Because the car is unexceptional. If where the Mercedes-Benz is parked and that's the only slot that is remaining for you to park your Subaru, you will not park it. You will rather leave it outside the gate. Because you fear that you may scratch the Mercedes-Benz. What am I trying to talk about this morning? Christians should be like a Mercedes-Benz. That even if you are walking in Kampala, someone should not want to walk close to you because you are looking like somebody that has moved from heaven and coming walking in the streets of Kampala because you are an exceptional person, a super Mercedes-Benz. One day when I was coming from a week of prayer, I had swag. That day I had swag. I was putting on cross belts and a bow tie. When I reached in Kampala, I wanted to get a taxi. I wanted to sit behind. But the lady that was seated in front left the seat for me and said, "Well, come you sit here, you are too smart." I said, "Thank you, Hosanna in the highest." Christians should be like a Mercedes-Benz. Even when you are moving, people should see the impact and the value that is built in you because you don't need to decorate yourself with things of the world to add value to yourself. Why people add value to them, to the Subarus and the other small cars, it is because their cars has no value. But if you are a Mercedes-Benz, you need no time to decorate yourself and put things on your body because you are value built from heaven with the holy hands. Rotten Christians. That one is going to be our talk of the day. Don't think I'll forget it. We are rotten Christians. Our hearts are filled with pretense. When people look at us, they think we are angels because of how we handle ourselves. Some of us, I have a lecturer back in school who told us to say, there are people who eat meat at midnight. Why? Because they don't want visitors to find them eating meat. So they will time and they will eat it at midnight. Those are Christians of the church. You and me are Christians, but there are some in the congregation right now who don't talk to one another. And you confess and sing a song that we are waiting for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Which Jesus? Which Jesus? Jesus cannot come because he told them to say, until they were in one accord in the upper room, that is when the Spirit came. When you and your brother are not talking to one another, Jesus shall not come here at Bunga Central SDA Church. You pray and sweat blood, but Jesus, he will not come. He will probably visit us in Bugema and go back to heaven. He will not come here. He will not come here. Until you and me, our lives are transformed from inside, outside, so that the fruits that are inside can be seen from outside. That is when Jesus is going to come. I want to ask a question. How do I look today? I don't look smart, I look sharp. There's a difference between smart and sharp. So me today, I look sharp. You understand, eh? How do I look today? When you meet me in the road and it's funny. Bodas in town, they will even call me, Pastor, Tugende. I will laugh and say, how did you know? Today I look smart. And everyone else in the church looks smart. Look at the way your coats are fitting. If Jesus was to come today, you will go to heaven. You look smart. What is in your heart? Now check this out.
Our hearts are filled with sin, that we are ripped across with sin, because the people can see the outside and cannot see the inside, because the things that are happening inside cannot be expressed outside. Does your character reflect what is inside you? Does your character reflect what is inside you? Come with me to the Bible. Come with me to the Bible. Does your character reflect what you have in your heart? When you looked at me, you said, I look smart, I look sharp, because that is how people see us. But when we come to your place, are you going to give us food with one heart as a Christian? Or your heart is filled with sin and you are lipped across, but you cover yourself with a coat and with a wonderful gown of the singing group, because that's what people think you are, but that is not what you are in your heart. The Bible says in the book of Isaiah 64 that our righteousness as dirty as filthy rags. Filthy, whether an elder, a deacon, or a pastor, all our hearts are filled with sin. There is no one that can stand up and say, I'm better than the other, because we are all subjected to the sinful state of Satan. Rotten Christians, putting on their coats and walking with their Bibles close to their hearts, but their hearts are far away from God. They are lipped apart with sin. If God was to come and open our hearts today and see what is in our hearts, many of us will not have courage to sit in the church today. This morning I want to check your heart. I want you to check yourself. What is it that is in your heart that you don't love to remove out? What is it that is in your heart that if Jesus was to come today, you couldn't love anyone to know about it? I have my own challenges. I have my own shortcomings. My heart is like this. In as much as I cover myself with a jacket, with a coat, and feel like I'm walking close to God, I know there are some things that I lack in this life. And those small things will make me lose heaven one day, when Jesus shall come in the clouds of heaven. Brothers and sisters, Jesus is coming soon. If you're still waiting for the soon coming of Jesus Christ, I tell you, Jesus is coming soon. We may not know when the soon is soon to come, but Jesus is coming soon. Check your heart today. Check your heart today. Is your heart worthy to wait for the second coming of Jesus? Is how you look outside the reflection of how you are inside? Or your heart is ripped with sin because you love living in sin and doing things that you couldn't love anyone to know about? Today, I want to give you an opportunity to open your heart to Jesus. Lay across all your burdens and let Jesus heal you today. Let Jesus forgive you today. The Bible says in the book of Ezekiel chapter 18 that when God forgives you, he forgets all your sins. Neither does he remember one. There is hope for rotten Christians today, because burdens are lifted on Calvary. Choristers, help us with the song, Burdens Are Lifted at Calvary. I want you to sing this song with your heart open. I want you to sing this song when you are imagining your burdens taken out to Calvary. When you are requesting Jesus to reconstruct your heart from this state to the state that will reflect the way you look outside. Don't worry about the wasted years. Don't worry about the sins that you've committed. Sing this song. Open your heart to Jesus. Open your heart to Jesus today. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Whether you don't have food at home, put it to the Lord in prayer. You don't have a job, put it to the Lord in prayer. You don't have a spouse, you don't have a life partner, put it to the Lord in prayer. You are sick of HIV, put it to the Lord in prayer. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Jesus is very near. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. There is hope for you today. Cast them on Jesus today. Lift your worry. Why worry when you are a Christian? Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Jesus is very near. Let's sing the chorus louder than this. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Lift them up and give them to Jesus today. Lift your burdens and let Jesus bless you. Let him bless your family today. Let him heal you today. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know what your burden is today. I don't know what your worries are today. But one thing that I know for sure is Christ is going to uplift them today. He's going to make you a new person in your life. You may have been rotten in your life from the time you were baptized until today. You've done a lot of things that you are not proud of. But I want to tell you that Jesus can still make a stop and a new life to your life. A change to your life can come today. A transformation of your life can come today. You may be looking filthy like this in your heart, but Jesus accepts you the way you are. Come as you are. He's going to teach you how to live with your scars. He's going to teach you how to live with your past. That is the Jesus that I serve. Every time I stand to preach, I preach with passion because I know the gospel gives life. And the same life that the gospel gives, it is Jesus who is the center of the gospel. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to my Father but by me. Do you want to come to Jesus today? Do you want to come to Jesus today? There's a sister of ours that is going to get baptized today. I don't know if they could another person that would want to join our sister and get baptized. I'll ask my sister if she's around to come out front. She's going to get baptized today. Is there someone that wants to join her and get baptized today? The Bible says if one sinner repents and gives himself or herself to accept Jesus, the angels in heaven rejoice like it is a multitude of people that have accepted Jesus as their personal Savior. Is there someone today? This is the last day of our week of prayer. You may not have been baptized before Jesus today. Let's go take the back. Is there someone today? Don't go with me. Still I will follow. Don't go with me. Still
decided to follow Jesus. Thank you very much, my sister. I've decided to follow Jesus. Come on, you can decide to follow Jesus. Make a step and come on. Oh, God bless you, my brother and sister. May God bless you. I'm still convinced there's someone that wants. Jesus is going to bless you. Thank you very much. Jesus is going to bless you for this. Pastor is going to come and do the thing. But as
Yesu aja nemine wamune